We had a lovely week in Namibia playing in the sand. The landscape and the fun that we had in the sand, it was amazing.
Hey, we come here for this. Echt wel?
Ik jou ook wel, ik vind het wel grappig. Thank you, Rudy, for driving us around 2 times. We had a lovely time.
So we all got out of bed early today to do the checkout at immigration. I think Biotrek and 2 canoes. They've already checked out, but they broke the computer. So in the meantime, nothing is happening today. So it's Monday, the 22nd.
Soms komt de wind een beetje vandaar.
Ja, waai er gewoon af. Are you not coming?
Thank you, it's for easy for me to stop.
You have other arrangements?
I had my bow thruster and my head thruster.
Look at this fucker.
What is it?
He already wants to go on.
Oh yeah.
And again the sea lions climb on the boat, but luckily this time he went off on his own. And it's actually a beautiful picture, having him on the back. We're so happy that Joost is with us now. He's joining us all the way to the Caribbean.
Yeah. Was already forecasted that there wouldn't be a lot of wind close to the coast, and the wind is also turning into Walvis Bay. We started with the Soland and the main, almost right behind us. Still a lot of seals here.
And then we're off 1300 miles to St. Helena.
Switch for the code 0. Can't go as high up, but VMG is much higher. And the wind will turn more to the south, and at a certain point we can change to either the Jagger or the A2. We're gonna eat early. It's just after 2 p.m. now. What's that on your shirt?
I'm proud to have this shirt of Syria.
Marek is learning Portuguese, 2 different courses. She still has about 2-3 weeks. Falo português, senhora?
Eu aprendo português este momento, mas espero aprender muito mais ali.
Uiteindelijk hebben we meer aan Joost dan aan al die meisjes die een beetje mooi zitten zijn, maar nooit stofzuigen. Well, you probably can't see it, but there's a little green light just 1.5 miles next to us. Spom. And the wind is decreasing a little bit. It's around 14 knots now. 2:30 now, Monday night.
The weather on this crossing is very promising. The wind will be constantly between 10 and 20 knots. With the speed we are making, we hope we can arrive in St. Helena just before the wind is going to drop for at least 3 days.
If you want me, if you need me, I'm yours.
We have to calibrate the boat speed because we don't have 1.5 knots of current here.
Dus 4% zeg maar van de mensen die kijken komt uit Nederland. Kijk maar. Ben je nog steeds?
Tia Maria. Je trekt een foto met de Kodak.
Oh, met de Kodak.
Een project tussen Finland, Barcelona en Brussel.
Super relaxed. 11 to 15 knots this afternoon or this day. And the wind is turning a little bit further to the south, so our wind angle is getting smaller, which increases the speed.
We have a lot of fun together with Joost. We are often on the foredeck, which we normally not very often do because it's a very wet area. But actually this crossing is the most relaxed and easy of all the crossing that we did.
250 miles since we started in Walvis Bay. Yeah. And the water is 3,000 meters deep here, and you notice the difference. Yeah. Yesterday it was a little bit shaky, hoor. Lekker.
Happy.
Ja, ben je happy, Joost?
Yes.
Goed zo. Het is ook wel echt zo van je zeilen dit, hè?
We're already discussing our next boat and what sail plan we would choose there. I have to say, for this boat, the choices we made are pretty good, but you can feel already that the bigger sails are getting pretty heavy. If we have to get them out of the sail compartment over there, well, Joost is now there, so the two of us, it's easy. On a bigger boat than this, we would probably choose to put 3 sails in a row, like a big front sail, like the Jenniker, but maybe then even from the DFI.
More flat.
And then a Genoa, like Tom and Biotrek have, and a stay sail. And then it's just a matter of rolling out the sail that you need at that moment and leaving it on for a big part of the time.
Around 10 knots.
Ja?
Sometimes even 11.
Oh, echt waar nu ook?
Yeah, it still feels really relaxed.
Yeah, it feels really comfortable.
It's the end of the second day. Let's wait for the sunset until I go down. Well, I'm not going down, I'm gonna sleep in the saloon when it's dark, and for me that's the nicest place to be.
Het is heel mooi.
For today, there's less wind expected. In the morning we had 10, 11, 12 knots. And we changed for the A2, asymmetrical spinnaker. Later today the wind's gonna increase. probably to 17, 18 knots, and that would still be okay for this sail. We will keep the same wind angle, and the wind will lead us then a little bit further north around the center of the high pressure area. This is coming this way, and will lead to absolutely no wind on Sunday. We still hope to arrive on Sunday morning. Champagne sailing again. You only have to pay attention that the A2 doesn't collapse. The waves are still coming a little bit from the side. This line with the low friction ring on it and then the opening block is already connected here to the front to be able to pull the spinnaker down if it's necessary. Where we are able to bring that line to the winch. You probably won't pull the sock down with the winch itself, but you can use the winch to prevent it from going up again once you pulled it partially down. Starlink has made quite some changes. Joost was in a video call this morning doing work stuff. He still does that. And well, even though we're in the middle of the ocean, there was not one time that the connection failed. Pretty happy that I'm not in that kind of blah blah anymore. Even the captain is there. When you heard Joost doing his video call?
I'm so happy that I'm sailing and not working anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It was really nice. After he had this call, Joost found an article of his new restaurant, or the restaurant he's involved in, together with Helena, and a very nice Belgian chef. Folia, it's called Folia. And the basis is vegetarian, but still people like me and Marijke are able to eat fish and meat. And it's in Antwerp, in Antwerpen. Yeah. Every hour Marijke is checking our average speed over the last hour, as we can compare with the other boats in the Glibo. It's more about, are we making the right choices? There are a couple of very experienced sailors in the group. It makes a lot of sense to see what choices they make. Now we decided to stay closer to the rump line, where the fastest two boats have chosen to take a more northerly course. So we are doing less miles with a lower wind angle, so a bit more speed as well. The chances are then that it will be the other way around once we get closer to St. Helena. And I'm halfway Napoleon, watching the movie. Downloaded it on Apple TV before we left, and well, to have a little bit of a starter for our visit to the island where he was banned until he died. Heb ik nog nooit gezien. Ja, heb ik antwoord. So this is the third sunset. I think so, at least. It's Wednesday today. It was a good decision to change to the Janneker again, as the wind immediately went up to 18-19 knots. If we would have stayed on the A2, would have been possible, but then we would have to fall another 20 degrees probably in order to keep it below 12 knots apparent wind speed. This way we can stay closer to the Greatcircle line, we make less miles, and the speed is even higher. And I'm sure that Marijke will sleep better this way. I don't think any of us will be able to arrive Saturday in the light, but it will be fun to be proven wrong on that. Sunday will be the first opportunity to get in. There was something with arriving on Sunday, though. The waves are getting a little bit higher again. Impossible to see on the camera, but some of them clearly over 2 meters again, but it's nothing. It's super relaxed. And look at the new Janneker shining in the sunset. Really happy that we managed to get new sail in Cape Town. Okay, tomorrow is another day. Het is een beetje jammer dat al die Belgen gewoon door onze zonsondergang aan het filmen zijn. Hè? Joost komt over als degene die dan ook weet waar het over gaat.
Ja, heel spontaan. Oh.
Mark is spending so much time behind the screen making films.
Hier, de scherm wordt er zwart van. And I think the next one. In the meantime, we see the first boat in 2 days, since we lost sight of Pom as he went further north. It's the Ever Gentle. And we left the Janneker on last night. It's quite okay. The winds were not higher than 21, 22 knots. 16 knots apparent. It's the maximum I saw for a brief moment.
No, I was on the ship.
What on earth are they doing? Mark is cleaning the windows so that he can make shots out of the window. Okay guys, so that you know that he is risking his life for all this.
Five 560 miles to go. So that is about 40%. This morning we passed halfway point. Marijke is still baking stuff. It's already in the oven. Just to show you a little bit that it's actually like a house, this boat. We've got the freezer, the 2 fridges, very decent combi oven, induction, dishwasher, full wash machine with dryer. We've got Starlink, of course.
Works perfect.
So this guy is working all the time, but he does a lot on board as well. So last night he did shift from 11 until 3:30. Yeah. Really good.
You were nice sleeping. So
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to wake you up.
Today we're still doing about 10 knots on average. I think overall we are somewhere between 9 and 10. icing on the cake, hè?
Hij loopt gewoon uit zichzelf. We doen even niks.
This is our daily call with Nino. Something happened today with our wooden sea. I think they just went too fast for the sheep. Greg is telling them that we haven't even changed anything about the sails today. This morning we put it on wind angle 125 and we haven't touched it since. Average speed today is still 10 knots. The boats behind us again have more wind than we have. We're just on the front edge of the wind system. And we're on the bottom edge as well. So hopefully we stay just within the wind.
Doing around 11 knots. And Mark is just preparing some of his famous homemade guacamole. It's almost apero time, almost 6 o'clock.
It's a nice one again. 4th night. We had a bit of a scare during a routine check. This time Joost was walking around the boat. First this one was loose, then we filled it in, took it out, rolled it out again, and then we saw that the other one was loose as well. And this one we never loosen. So it must have not been well sailing. It's already coming out again. Let's see whether I can change this part from the parts that are on the spare furler.
We have a problem with the furler. It opens automatically. Joost found out earlier and it was already half out. And now we checked it just before we go to bed. And we're still going out.
Because you almost never find anything, you tend to forget about a daily round over the deck. It's a very good thing that we did this. Marika did it yesterday evening and Joost did it this evening at sunset. It's a good thing he saw it, because that would have been an interesting challenge in the middle of the night.
The boats in the north clearly have more wind than us, and also behind us. So we hear people reefing for the night or taking down the big front sails. But we are in an area with a little bit less wind. We can keep all the sails up during the night. So that actually gives us quite a decent speed. As long as everything goes right, then it is not a problem to handle big sails like this. But if something goes wrong, like for instance if the bottom of the sail would have been completely loose, then you're really in trouble with a huge boat and big sails. It is very nice to cross the ocean in a group. Because we all have trackers, we are able to check the average speed of every boat and the position of every boat every hour, and it's part of the fun.
It was a battle, but they did not survive.
Helaas.
looks like there will be no wind for the rest of the trip, or very little wind. We just took the downwind anchor off and now we are going to replace it for the spinnaker. First we rolled in the downwind anchor, then we rolled out the jib to keep some speed. Now we hoisted the A2. Now we're checking if all the lines are correct and if it's not turned. Then we will roll in the jib and then open up the spinnaker.
They don't want to twist in the sock. So the halyard is fixed. And there you can see the sock. They give a go sign. Small twist there, so we cannot put it on the second time. Let's try.
So when it's twisted in the top, it is very difficult to take the snuffer completely up. And if you would force it, you will never be able to take it down again. So we take it down again and take the whole sail down and first try to solve it from the top. Can't manage it from there. So finally we decide to take the whole spinnaker out of the sock on the foredeck. So we have to be very careful that the wind is not catching it.
Yeah. It's always difficult to decide whether or not to leave the spinnaker on during the night. It's almost 6 o'clock now. And we had a period with very little wind. And then the sail starts flapping and collapsing, especially with the waves from the side. Now the wind has turned a little bit in the right direction, so that we're going to our target on the north end of the island. We created this line to the middle cleat to keep the sheet lower, that it doesn't hook behind the stanchion poles. And it seems stabler like this.
When the spinnaker collapses,
Yeah,
I don't want to get it around the forestay.
yeah. So it's kind of a safety net that prevents the asymmetrical spinnaker from furling around the forestay.
Well, you can see it well.
Search for silence deep within, to stop the voices that begin. The whispers from the past echoes in my soul. Never dies, never lies, and I cry. I'm standing in an empty room, broken dreams that I resume. Where is strength to leave behind? Tell me, where is peace of mind? 'Cause I'm calling, calling, calling to the core. Help me, save me, find me. Calling, calling, how do I ignore? Help me, show me.
Pom and Biotrek and us, all three of us are going to arrive somewhere this night, maybe tomorrow morning. It's kind of strange why sometimes the AIS signals reach a pretty long way and then sometimes they're not. Biotrek just reappeared on the screen, but they were closer by earlier on the day.
I want to go fishing, but I have no lure.
Yeah, the lures are here.
Okay. It's the first time we go a little bit slower. I guess maybe we have a chance to take a tuna or something, would be great.
Well, our strategy now is just to keep the sail in the air. As long as we have positive VMG, it doesn't really matter. We can't go ashore in St. Helena anyway, tomorrow on Sunday. They don't work in the weekend. We're not quite used to a 24/7 economy yet, this isolated island. 5 knots apparent. The sail still standing. Marijke's spider web seemed to work pretty well. We saw the sail collapse a couple of times, but every time it went back pretty quickly. While we are in the warmth and the sun over here. There's a huge difference to Namibia, where it was cold and moisty and foggy most of the day. Except in the dunes, or at least in the dunes when we were there. We're still sticking to the plan to sail as long as possible. Well, our VMG was still higher than the speed of most other boats. There's not a lot of reason to complain, to be honest.
Dort voor de mond.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
It's not so bad. In the night we are still sailing. Between 1 and 2 the wind dropped so far that we had hardly any apparent wind speed anymore, and the spinnaker collapsed completely. That was the moment that we decided to start the engines around 30 miles before we were at the waypoint.
The wind went back to 5 knots. The parent went to 2 or 3, and that did it. So we took it down. We can see the lights of St. Helena already, right in front of us. So Joost can go to bed now.
The approach of St. Helena with the upcoming sun was stunning. There's a beautiful rock that shines in the morning sun, and it is as if it was just painted black. It's an amazing island.
Oh yeah. Thanks, look.
And then also the dolphins welcome us in. It can't be more perfect. After a perfect ocean crossing, we have a perfect arrival.